Before we start, I'm not a drawing sheet desk creator, and my video will be more about expressing opinion as an artist or as a classical musician, so do keep that in mind in this video. Recently, there's been a lot of drama with Artemis 13, but I want to question the behavior on how people talk about their opinion on this level, as there's an obvious line of having an opinion or constructive criticism on a level and just being downright a hater. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story as to how that the way that the drama jazz community treats their creators doesn't really make any sense. Imagine you're a classical musician, you've been practicing an aria or song for weeks, months, or maybe even years, and today is your recital. You're on stage there with your accompaniment and you sing your absolute best. Weeks, months, or years of hard work trying to figure out pronunciation, breath marks, working with your voice teacher just for this moment, and etc. And after a few moments, it's over. You're proud of your hard work you've put in, and you got to show everyone at the recital or jury of what you did, and you're proud of it. After your recital is over, someone you've never met before comes up to you and says, "Hello there, I just wanted to say, in my opinion, you sounded very soulless." They go on and on about everything you did that they personally didn't like and walk away with no tips, or even what they think that you could do to fix your mistakes. Now, hearing that, I ask you, how would that make you feel? That's very rude and disrespectful, right? I mean, you just spent months working on something just for someone you don't know to call you basically ass. Now, yet time and time again, this is exactly how the community treats the backbone of this community. We need to learn to judge levels with a much more open mind and learn to criticize a level properly, as just pointing out everything wrong isn't really going to do much in my opinion, especially when you use such stupid subjective terminology like aura or menacing. And I've never heard one person like actually use it in a way that actually makes sense, because you can say both Angelicide and Eternus are have aura is menacing, or you can point at one and say this is the only level that's menacing or aura. Like, I don't get it. Why are we judging levels on such a subjective view and making it like objective? Now, here are the points Mr. Happy Jr. made about why he doesn't like Artemis. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about all of them, as this video isn't necessarily disagreeing with Mr. Happy Jr., more about using him as an example to have more productive, positive conversations when judging a level, such as Artemis 13 is Flowsop with no uniqueness at all. If you don't know what Flowsop is, it's basically what I got here. Supposedly a good example of Flowsop is Niwa if you want to compare it to their flowiness. Okay, I'm editing this now, and while trying to figure out what Flowsop even means, as every time I keep typing it on the Google search, the definitions keep changing it. So I went to like TikTok to check it, and even GD Colin doesn't even know. Why are we judging levels on such a subjective view and making it like objective? I do agree somewhat with unique gameplay. Issue is gameplay usually isn't held to the same standard as Deco, but that's a different conversation. I don't see personally how this really has anything to do with Artemis 13, since Artemis and Grief debatably have these memorable parts due to their fame and memes and not solely because of their gameplay. I think a better question would be, how can Artemis 13 stand out more compared to its inspiration? I think a good way would be an emphasis on the screechy part, as this to me seems to be the highlight of the level, either by slowing it down or using the dash ring to be later complemented by the deco of the flashing of those parts, and as well to keep it consistent throughout the level, which at times it does fall short of. Mr. Happy Jr. also talks about how the deco lacks uniqueness, as it seems to mesh with other inspirations, which I personally don't see when you compare it to its other inspirations, but a lot of people seem to agree in some sort of way. So I ask you, the person watching this, what would you do to make it not so meshy and blendy, and make it more of a standout without taking away its essence? Look at the inspiration of this level and see what would fit Artemis 13. Make the decoration an improvement to make it more unique, so it's a better decoration of what it's inspired from. Now, I also want to bring up the fact that it's also important to keep in mind the amount of people, time, and experience that these individuals have when it comes down to creating levels. Not everyone's it's gonna have the amount of people that Mindcap has. Not everyone's gonna have the same amount of time as Spunix has, and not everyone's gonna have the same amount of experience as Blee. Anyways, that's the end of this video. If you guys were paying attention, then you should realize that every video that I've used in the background is the inspiration of Artemis 13. So you can, and so instead of searching these levels, you can instantly put down your opinions if you've been watching the background. So yeah, that's basically all. Let me know what you think. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And just more importantly, have a positive conversation.